Hey guys, so in the last video, we modeled the entire body from the nose to the tip of the tail, and that's what we got so far. In this video, we'll be modeling the legs. So let's go ahead and get started. If you remember, when we were modeling this, we left segments for the front leg and the back leg. And these are going to be, this will be this one, and maybe this will be the other one. 2 polygons here and 2 polygons here. So let's go ahead and get started. I am going to do something a little bit different. Since we're going to be modeling one leg in the front and one leg in the back, what I'd like to do is get rid of, delete half of our alligator. I am going to work on the left side, and so the right side, in other words, my right, the alligator's left side. So I am going to get rid of all of one side, his right side. So I'm going to go here to face mode, and I'm going to select all of the faces on his right side, and I'm going to hit delete. Now this will make sense when we're here and we're modeling this leg and we don't have to see the back faces. And so I just got rid of, I'm going to hit A, all of the right side, his right side, our left. When we're done modeling the 2 legs and even the eye and the teeth, we will mirror this over and be done. So don't worry about the right side. Let's work on the left side. So now that I've got that done, I am going to select these 2, and we're going to make those 2 our leg, our front leg. And so the way I want to do this, I'm going to hit F and then zoom out a little bit. I am going to hit R for the scale tool, and I'm going to hold down the shift and extrude inward, and that is our leg. That's where I'm going to pull it from, and it doesn't look round, so that is our next step. Our next step is to go to vertex mode and select these 2 vertices and then move them so that we can start rounding off this shape, just kind of like we did with the cup. So I'm going to start moving this, grab these 2, start moving them. Maybe it went a little too far. And then these 2. And so that looks a little rounder. I'm just going to make them a little even all the way around. And that looks round. That looks like a round, nice enough round shape. Now let's go back to face mode. We've got our faces selected. And the next thing I'd like to do is just pull this forward a little bit. And what I mean forward, I just mean out. Out just a little bit, so that we can start modeling it. So here we go. This is I'm going to hit F here in the top view. You can see that we pushed it forward. I'm going to pull it forward enough so you can see that stub, but I don't want to pull it too much. That's the shoulder. Now we're not going to follow the reference. We're going to make it straight out and then straight out and then straight down. Straight out and then straight down. We're not going to follow the reference going back and then forward. We could do that once we have this. If we ever needed to animate it, we can build a rig to it and then we can pose it. But right now we're just going to model it. And so what I'd like to do is hold the shift key and push it out. Start modeling it. But what I'm seeing here, since these polygons, I'm going to hit F here, were wrapping around its body, they're not straight. They are not straight here. So that's the second thing I'm going to do, is straighten these out so that we can have a nice straight surface to extrude. And so here in the front view, I'm going to select this and I'm going to hide it. Hit H. And go back to face mode. Here in the front view, what I'd like to do is hit R to scale. And now I am going to scale these two polygons in the X. And that will flatten them out, just like that. And now I can move them back a little bit and scale them proportionately so that we can start making this arm a little less big. Remember, it's biggest here at the shoulder, and then it's going to get significantly smaller when we get to the wrist. So now that we've got that done, it's completely flat here. Let's go ahead and extrude it out and start bending it. Remember, again, we've already done this when we extruded and rotated to get that shape. And so that's exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to hold shift, extrude, and rotate. And start to, and then start to bend it this way. So again, I'm going to extrude out, scale, and then rotate. And then adjust it. Here we go. And now you can start to see that bend. One more. Hold down the shift. Extrude. E. Looks like it's going to take yet another one. R. And W. One more, and then it will be facing straight down. Hold on the shift to extrude. E to rotate. Straight facing down. R to scale. W to adjust. And now that we've got that elbow, that bent, now we can extrude straight down. So shift, extrude, and one more to the wrist, and then this will be one more all the way touching the floor, and this will be the hand. This section will be the hand. We can also, guys, after you've extruded everything, it will never land exactly where you want it. So what do we do after we extrude? We will tweak the vertices. That means edit the vertices slightly. So let's go to vertex mode, and then we can move these vertices to where we want them. When I want to give them a little bit of a muscle there, I can. I want to give them a little bit more of a elbow. There it is. So we can tweak these as much as we want, or as little as we want. I gave him a little bit more muscle, and I can give him a little bit more muscle here as well. And maybe the wrist slightly smaller, slightly, and maybe a little bit higher right there. All right, I like that shape. And I like that shape. I'm going to maybe push it up a little bit here in the side view. Just make it a little bit more. I'm going to make it just a little bit thicker here in the side view. You can also double click this to make it a little bit, to select the whole ring and make it a little bit thicker. There we go. In the side view, double click to select the entire loop, select one, double click on the next one, and I'm going to make it just a slightly thicker. All right, let's go ahead and do the fingers. The fingers are, I'm going to do 4 fingers pointing out, and let's go to face mode, and I'm going to select this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. 4 polygons, and I am going to extrude them, but not keep faces together turned off. Remember, again, that's why we did this exercise. Remember, we did this, turn off, keep faces together off. So I'm not going to move them while holding the shift. We're going to call upon the actual extrude tool, which is here under edit mesh, extrude, or it's command E. So now that I've got my extrude tool, I'm going to keep faces together off and extrude along the normal, which means this blue arrow, click it and then move it forward. There is our fingers. I am going to push them down a little bit, and then I'm going to activate by clicking on the blue square. I'm going to activate the scale tool and then scale them in. W to move, and I'm going to push them down a little bit, and then I'm going to continue to extrude. There's 4 fingers. I'm going to command E to extrude, and then now I don't have to keep faces together off because they are already separate. So I'm just going to extrude along the normal, clicking on the blue arrow and pushing them out. And then I'm going to activate the scale tool here within the extrude tool. Click on the blue little square and then scale them down. W to move, and I'm going to push them down. One more time. Command E, extrude, activate the scale, scale, W to push them down. And that's it. That's it, guys. We've got a hand. The only other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check to see how well we stayed on the surface. Remember I said every time you extrude, it's not going to land exactly where you want it. So we just need to tweak a little bit of this hand by selecting these edge loops. So let's go to, we can go to vertex mode, and we can select these vertices as a ring and then push them up. Select these vertices and then push them up. And I'd like to see it here also. And I'm going to push them up to here. That means that I've got to push this one up a little further. I'm going to select a bunch of them. Hit F and then zoom out just a little bit. So select this row, select one, double click. I can hit Q to get rid of my move tool. Q, double click, and then we can move this one up. In fact, I'm going to do the same to this one, just to have that there. And so now the next one, select this row, Q to get rid of my move tool, double click, and I'm going to hit F here, W, and I can see right on top, right there on top of the floor. W, and then this one. We kind of have to be careful where we are. So this one, double click, make sure that it selects all four. Right to there. This one, W, and then this, all four of these. Right to there. And so I'm just basically pushing them up to the level of the floor. Now this one and this one, double click to select the entire row. Just going to move it up a little. This one, move it up, and then these four, move them up. And there it is. I noticed that this one was a little off. To check everything, I'm going to hit F. To check that hand, what I'd like to do is go to object mode, hit number 3 to smooth, and then we could see that hand, and there it is. There it is. And so I'm going to do the other leg exactly the same way as I did this one. And I might even speed up the video just a little bit so we can get this done quickly. Okay, I'm going to click on the object and hit number 1 to go to polygon view. Go to my side view, hit F, and then I'm going to select these two back here. Go to face mode. Select these two, that's my back leg, and then I'm going to start extruding. Notice that the back leg is bigger, so we can actually do these two, these four. I'm just going to stick with these two. And again, we're not going to follow the reference image. I'm just going to extrude them straight out and then straight down, just like what we did with the front leg. And so in order for me to see this, let's go ahead and select the entire front leg. Shift period to grow the selection all the way to there, and hit H to hide. There it is, hidden. Now that we've hidden it, I can hit Q, select this one and this one, and start extruding. The first thing I'd like to do is extrude inward. Remember this when we created that shape? So R to scale, hold down the shift and extrude inward. And now that we've got our polygons, I'm going to hit F, and then now we can start rounding off the shape. Go to vertex and then W and start rounding off that shape and making it as round as we need it. Right there. Now I've got my two polygons, and I can start extruding them out. Here, or better yet, in the top view, extrude out, size, and flatten. Remember what we did in the front leg. We flattened it because it's following the contour of the body, and it just makes for a little bit more complicated model. So we're just going to flatten this out completely by scaling it only in the X, just like this, and then pushing it out. Just move, and maybe even rotating it a little bit right there. Size it just a little bit and continue to push it out to about right here. W, extrude, R to scale, shift, extrude, and then we're going to start rotating it now downward. So E to rotate it downward, W, hold down the shift to do another extrusion, and E to rotate, W, hold down the shift, E to rotate. So when you flatten it out, it makes it easier to manipulate like this in one of the views. I'm going to start now making it a little bit smaller. I just made it a little bit smaller, and then now we can extrude completely down. So now that we've finished the back leg, let's bring the front leg over. All you have to do is go to display, show all, and there it is. And then hit number 3 for smooth preview. And there it is, guys. We've got an alligator with the front leg, the back leg. We can tweak it and make it look a little bit bigger here in the right where it touches the body. In fact, I'm going to do that right now. I'll speed up the process a little bit, but then what I like to do is start on the eye. All right, now that I've fattened up the back leg, and now I like it. The next step in the next video, guys, we'll finish this off. I'm gonna model the eye. Let's model the teeth, and then we're done. And then we'll mirror everything to the other side. So I'll see you on the next video. Hey guys, if you like the video, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you, guys.